A very good morning to one and all. Myself Vishal Pandey, and today we are going to start the second part of The Sound of Music, the Beehive book of English for the class 9th. If you talk about The Sound of Music, there are two parts in this chapter. Part 1 we have already discussed, completed. It was dealing about Evelyn Glyn, and now this chapter, the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan, will be dealing about the biography of Ustad Bismillah Khan. So let us move forward and try to understand more about this chapter itself. If you talk about this chapter, the background of this story starts from the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb had banned in his regime a musical instrument which was known as Pungi, P-U-N-G-I. Why he had banned that Pungi? Because as a king himself, Aurangzeb does not like the voice, he was not fascinated at all towards Pungi. He hates that sound. So in spite of all his activities, he told his courtiers, he told his ministers to ban the Pungi itself. So he gave that opportunity to a barber to look forward to find out a new music, a new sound which can please him, which can fascinate Aurangzeb. So a barber of a family, professional musician he was, the barber was musician, decided to improve the tonal quality of Pungi. So barber took that responsibility as he was a family member of a musician. He belongs to a family members of musician. So that particular barber took this work as an advance, and he decided to improve the tonal quality of Pungi. So what he did, he played the improved instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. So what he did, that particular barber, he took one pipe, he made 7 holes on that pipe, and he started producing different sounds and that sound started pleasing the surrounded people. So he tried well, he tried hard, and when he finished his all inventions, then he took that particular pipe along with 7 holes and he went straight away to the Shahinshah or Aurangzeb, in front of Aurangzeb. So what he did, let us see in the next slide. The instrument which was improvised from Pungi and changed it into Shehnai, that is called, from Pungi it reformed to Shehnai. So this was the invention of that particular barber, because it was made by a Nai means barber, and it was presented before Shah. Shah means the king himself. That is why its name was kept as Shehnai. Shehnai, how it was reformed? Because it was made by a Nai and it was introduced before, played before Shah's chamber. That is why it was named as Shehnai. I hope you all are getting the points. I hope you all are understanding this chapter, the introduction of Shehnai. Let us see what had happened in this biography, in this story. Ustad Bismillah Khan brought Shehnai to the classical stage as well. He was the only Persian, because after Aurangzeb, when that barber introduced Shehnai, everyone started playing it, but it was not that famous as it is today. After Bismillah Khan started playing Shehnai, it reached towards its pinnacle. So ultimately what we have to understand, that it is only Bismillah Khan who brought Shehnai to the classical age, classical stage as well. So the sound of Shehnai began to be considered auspicious. Auspicious means pious, pavitra, and for this reason it is still played in temples and is an inseparable component of any North Indian wedding. As I told you in the virtual classes, that Shehnai is a tradition to be played in marriages of North India. So that is because that Shehnai is considered as auspicious. That is why it is also played in temples as well. In the past, Shehnai was a part of the Naubat or traditional ensemble group of 9 instruments found at royal courts. The credit goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. All the way you can understand that to promoting Shehnai, the promotion of Shehnai was ultimately done by Ustad Bismillah Khan himself. Music was in Bismillah Khan's blood. How? Let us see these points. First, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. He was born on 21st of March in the year 1916 in a well-established family, those who were musicians as well. So music was in his blood because his ancestors were also musicians. His grandfather, father and other paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. So he was not doing a new thing. His ancestors were also Shehnai player, but he reached at the pinnacle. He was very famous. His ancestors were not so much famous as Bismillah was. So Bismillah was fascinated at watching his uncle practice the Shehnai. His uncle was living in Varanasi. At that time it was called Banaras. So he came to Banaras when he was just 3 years old, and he started learning Shehnai along with his uncle, and he used to play the Shehnai at different temples at the ghats of Banaras as well. Throughout the day, the flowing waters of Ganga inspired him to put together and create ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. So Bismillah Khan created so many tunes, so many ragas, sitting at the bank of Ganga river, sitting at the ghats of river Ganga, at the ghats of Varanasi like Asi and Dashashwamedh Ghat. He created so many ragas, which was not possible for anyone to create those ragas because people do not have that fascination, that importance of Shehnai at that particular time. So Bismillah Khan was one of them who introduced different ragas, who introduced different, he has that monopoly within him, that he has created so many ragas and given to the world of Shehnai players. If you see the bright future of Bismillah Khan, how Bismillah Khan improvised himself, how he inculcate his Shehnai tunes, his that tonal way of producing Shehnai in this atmosphere. Let us have a brief certain points to understand that. With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in the 1938 came Bismillah's big break. In Lucknow, he was there in Lucknow in the year 1938, and he first got his opportunity to play that Shehnai in All India Radio, and he got his first break at that particular time. When India gained independence on 15th of August in 1947, remember, let me be very familiar and tell you this interesting story as well. When India was rising, when India was awaking from slavery to freedom, This man, Bismillah Khan, was there at Red Fort, where Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, was unfurling that Indian flag, and he was addressing the nation. At that time, Bismillah Khan played this Shehnai, and throughout the globe he was appreciated. Throughout the world he was appreciated, and he became famous all over the world. Film director Vijay Bhatt from Bollywood, also many people were impressed by Bismillah Khan, and they gave him opportunity to play music in Bollywood as well. But वहाँ की जो limelight है, the limelight of Bollywood was not able to fascinate Bismillah Khan, because he was just simple sober man who was very much down to earth, and who is very much having some interest, and he was excited to live in Banaras. So he don't want to live Banaras at that period of time. A renowned musician and true Indian. Why it is said that? Because Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in USA. He was the first Indian musician who was invited in USA in the Lincoln Center Hall to perform music, to play Shehnai, and that was the ultimate gift of God that was there in Bismillah Khan. If we talk about the awards which were given to him from Indian government, national awards like the Padma Shri, the Padma Bhushan and the Padma Vibhushan were conferred on him, and then finally the Bharat Ratna, the greatest award of India, was given to Ustad Bismillah Khan in 2011. It has been written, but I think that he was given this award in 2001. You have to go on Google, just search it down, that when Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded by Bharat Ratna. So he was given that award as well. Despite traveling so many countries, he was exceedingly fond of Banaras and Dumrao. Now this Dumrao is the native place of Ustad Bismillah Khan. It is there situated in Bihar state of India. Once a student came to him. Bismillah Khan taught many students. A student came to Bismillah Khan. He was there, he was living in USA, and he wanted to open an institute related to Shehnai, a Royal Institute Academy of playing Shehnai. So he came to Bismillah Khan and he said, Guruji, please come to USA. We are going to start a Royal Academy of Shehnai. If you will come, you will teach the student. We will grow day by night, throughout day and night. So Bismillah Khan told that student that if you are able to take river Ganga and Banaras over there, I will be happy to come USA. So he was loving so much river Ganga and Banaras, and ultimately he died in the year 2006 or 5 somewhere in Banaras itself. So he was all over Bismillah Khan, as you can see. And so children, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you all understood the summary of Ustad Bismillah Khan. Thank you.